Hey everyone, the Reading Bard here. Today I will be continuing 4 to 8 and Counting, written by V4 Nanaman. Today I am going to be reading Chapter 4. Quick warning before I jump into it. This video will be describing injuries Izuku causes to himself to test his immortality quirk. If injury descriptions upset you, feel free to skip this video. Let's hop right into it. The next day was a blur of boxes and trains. Hisashi persuading Izuku to come live in their guest room. Izuku packing up his hotel room and stuff he brought with him from Island and arranging everything to fit in the small room. Izuku was glad to be back. Even after almost 400 years of living, Japan was still his favorite country. Sue him. He has a special connection to his birthplace. Once all the boxes were shoved in a corner, and all the furniture he needed was ordered online, he turned off his laptop and plopped down on the bed, arms sprayed out on both sides, thoughts swirling in his head. He was still kinda mad at Shota for not telling him about his family. It pained him greatly to not be trusted with his sexual orientation. But he can get over it. It's not like Shota was the only child he ever had. Even if he was one of his most favorable ones, during his life, his long, infinite life, he had his fair share of different families, partners, and dynamics. He explored everything. But as the years progressed, and as he got bored of life, he stopped with most of it. He gave up on the concept of mourning the death. He gave up on finding partners for life, their life at least. Gave up on settling down, on being a prominent part of any community. Due to his immortality, Izuku could not die. Any and all injury was healed by his quirk. Disease was nullified. Aging was stopped. He was stagnant. He first discovered his quirk. It was still punishable by death to have one. The knowledge of quirks in its entirety was not public, and the government hunted down all quirked individuals. It was easier with mutant types, identifying the sinner and executing them. Mental and emission types were trickier, but they usually got caught as well. The word quirk was not even invented yet. Izuku, on the other hand, was neither. Not that back then they had the term to differentiate these, but since quirks became mainstream after the first Quirk Wars, technology started using the terminology developed to describe the different types. Mutant types are the ones with physical quirk aspects. They can either call upon a transformation or have it permanently. It can come with borrowed attributes from the object of the transformation, such as speed and strength in animal types, occasionally with the special attributes of said animal, e.g. echolocation with the bats. Other types are the ones that have a quirk that enables them to create things that are not part of their body. Quirks with a physical proof of quirk activation. Emitters can have activation time limits and intake requirements. Mental types are the ones with a quirk that originates from the body, and has an effect on another subject entirely, often tied to an activation requirement, like eye contact or verbal response. All types can suffer from quirk exhaustion, and in case of methodical overuse, they can all evolve in specific cases. Of course, over the centuries, these definitions became broader, and included more cases of exception, but the original classification system was based among these lines. If we circle back to Izuku, his quirk does not align with either one of these definitions, having attributes from each of them, some more than others, but still. When his quirk manifested, he was a teen, maybe 17 or 18 years old. He broke his arm during his part-time job, but before he could call for help, his broken bones snapped back into place, leaving him stunned and terrified. He had heard the tales about the people taken away because of a power that was unexplainable by logic, medicine, or technology. When he got home that afternoon, he locked himself up in his room, telling his concerned mother not to worry. He was just tired after work, and really thought about what's next. He decided against telling his mother. It would just make her guilty, and he didn't want to burden her with his newfound, well, this. After a while, he grabbed the box cutter on his desk and pricked the skin on his finger. He watched in horror and fascination as the blood droplets almost rewound, gliding back into the wound, just for the cut to be healed in under 15 seconds. After a couple more experimental cuts, he concluded 3 things. 1. That he could heal external wounds. After inspecting his previously broken arm, he added internal ones to that point as well. 2. That the healing process was a rewind of the injury in itself, having the visual aspect of a video playback. And 3. That this healing did not consume any energy from him. He did not feel sleepy or hungry after healing himself over 30 times in an hour. And this is when it hit him. He did not feel tired at all. That is weird. He had a long day today, and he hadn't eaten since lunch. And he was not hungry. It was almost 10 p.m. He decided to leave this new discovery for tomorrow, and plopped down on his bed, pulling the blanket over his head, trying to drown out the world around him. Tomorrow came with even more surprises. He discovered that even after not eating for almost 20 hours, he was completely fine. He ate breakfast with his mother, and then retreated back to his room. Given that it was Saturday, he decided that today was the day to experiment more. He grabbed an empty notebook from his school supplies, not titling it to avoid suspicion from his peers and mother. It's not like he can write. My newfound strange ability that resembles the ones that are executed by the government in bold letters on the front page. So he wisely leaves it empty. After writing about the discovery itself, he turned the page to a blank one, writing experiments on the top. Under that, he detailed his findings about the cuttings and rewinding, detailing the time between the cut and heal, how the deepness or shallowness related to time difference, how the blood being absorbed in tissue played out in the rewind part. On the next page, he wrote sensations. He wrote about how the pain was still there, but somehow muffled, almost like the numbness after sitting on your leg for too long. He wrote about not being hungry or tired, how the sprained wrist he nursed since a week ago was not hurting at all, and functionally perfectly fine. After this, he continued on with his day as if nothing had happened. He talked and laughed with his mother, did the groceries, cleaned the apartment while his mother was cooking, and he ate his usual portions, even without feeling the emptiness in his stomach. At night, he tried not sleeping. He was perfectly fine the next morning. During the school week, he skipped breakfast, didn't eat lunch, and ate in his room when dinner rolled around. He was fine. He noticed how he got stronger. Not outwardly. He was still the same lanky teen he was a week ago, but he could now lift boxes that he couldn't even move before. He could jump higher and greater distances than before, punch harder, and kick harder. His aim got better. He could throw stones into the can he placed almost 200 meters away without problem. He could count the stitches on his clothing, seeing the little brushstrokes on the wall that seemed flat just a week ago. He was thrilled and scared, terrified. If this somehow got out, if the government somehow found out, he and his mother would be taken in an instant. So he kept it a secret. He and his notebook knew what transpired since that fateful Friday afternoon. The months passed. He found out new aspects of his power. He grew accustomed to handling the strength and heightened senses, learned to ignore the sounds he knew he was not supposed to be able to hear. It helped that he did not need sleep, because getting the hang of not hearing everything all the time was a difficult and long process. Years passed. His mother died in an accident. He grieved, depressed for a couple of years. He tried to end it all. It was unsuccessful. He gave up. He grew older. When he hit 50, he realized that he didn't actually age. His exterior changed, sure, but no typical aging happened. His joints were fine. His sight was 20/20 still. No cracking of bones, graying of hair, nothing. During these 30-something years, he was not sick once. Then there were the times where he forgot to eat or sleep for months at a time. And then he realized it was never a healing ability. He was immortal